Hey guys, and welcome to another video with Spartan086 and another wee video on another customised vehicle. As I said before, I've run out of vehicles to actually do, so decided I'll just do these for everybody to see. Hopefully, as I've said before in the videos, this gives guys ideas who have got extras and they're thinking of what could I do with these, what other things, this is what I would like to see. So it's really for you guys to get an idea and maybe put your modelling and weathering skills and painting skills to good usage. So obviously we've got in front of us is Forces of Valor 132 Jagdtiger with the Henshaw suspension. So what I did was I bought this recently, second hand, out of the box. I've already got two like this and decided what I'd really like is a version that a friend of mine had done. His was absolutely magnificent how he did his. His was based on a type of Battle of the Bulge effects. He done magnificent weathering, he done fantastic rust, and the effect that he did to the vehicle is brilliant. So I decided to try and copy it as best I can. Not going to say it turned out brilliantly, but I've decided to leave it as it is. So the vehicle I've tried to go with is obviously Summer Battle of the Bulge. It's been in heavy combat. It's been covered in dirt, rust. The weather has really got to this vehicle, and it's been in constant combat. You can see obviously trying to get the cordite effect done down here, around about there, and overall, I think I did not bad. I used a Valero white to try and I used a Valero base white primer first, and then went over it with just a regular Valero white. Then took shoe polish, Valero rust, dirt, and added them to the vehicle to try and get the best effect that I could. Now I did two attempts at this, so this, if you think this one's rubbish, then you can imagine what the first one was. Obviously a wee bit of history to the vehicles. The Jagdtiger was the largest tank destroyer that was went into action in World War II. It was the heaviest, it was over 70 tons. It carried one of the biggest guns in World War II, which was 128mm. Obviously the Soviets had their bad boys, which was 152mm. But it was an incredibly powerful vehicle with an incredibly powerful gun that was let down on the usual things with the Germans, which were transmission underpowered, over engineered, and obviously near the end of the war they didn't really need vehicles like this. They needed more things like the Panther, so it was a lot of undertaking for these vehicles. They were gas guzzlers, so I mean the Germans at the time had hardly any fuel as it is, so they didn't really need these things put forward. But they ended up getting them, and there was nothing else they could do. But they did employ them very well. One of these vehicles was employed by the Panzer Ace Autocarius, and in one of his memoirs he talks about it. Doesn't really paint a great picture of it, but he was impressed with the power of the gun. But obviously he was telling you the story of that I was there with coming to war at the end. They needed vehicles that they could rely on, such as the Panther, which could do the job. It was cheaper, it was better, it was a lot more reliable. Instead they were stuck with vehicles like this that were underpowered and ended up most of the time just broke down, and they had to abandon them. So either they destroyed them or the Allies destroyed them in the fear that maybe they were still active. So, but overall, you can still see one of these if you're in the UK. You can still see it at the Bovington Tank Museum. I have many times. It's a great sight to see. The one at Bovey isn't a Henshaw suspension; it's actually a Porsche suspension. So if you go down, it is a rarity to see. Also, as I've said before, this is not really about me trying to show off or anything like that. It's about giving you guys ideas about vehicles to do. I'm in the process now of doing an M2 A1 up to the standard of an M2 A3. So that is a Bradley infantry fighting vehicle with the BUSC system on board, ECM system, etc. put on board for that. So hopefully once that's fully done, I'll get it up so you guys can get a wee good look at it and see if he's like it or not. Still a lot of things I'd like to do to it. As I said before, I'm not the best one at models. I try to employ as much skill as I can, which is not a lot. But hopefully get that video up soon. I've also got a couple of Humvees that I'm redoing. So they're up armoured, and obviously they've got the ECM kit on. They're a lot better than the original Forces of Valor ones they put forward. So I hope you guys are well, taking care. As I was saying in the last video, we're in another lockdown here, so you can understand how it is. It's still a scary time. You don't know what's going on, whether you want to believe it or not. It is. So wherever you are, guys, please take care of one another, and until the next time, have a good one. Bye bye.